Now, when you think about baseball in this town, you probably think of the Cubs or the White Sox.
Yeah.
But there was once a team here in Chicago that was as good, if not better, than the North and the South Siders. They were the Chicago American Giants, and they were part of the Negro Leagues. Krista Rose is here to tell us more about this incredible team and its history in today's Did You Know?
In today's world, it's normal to go to a baseball game and see players of all races, colors, and creeds on the field. But for many years, our national pastime, just like our nation, was segregated. Since African Americans and moreover people of color couldn't be in the white major leagues, well, they formed their own leagues. And one of the most dominant teams to emerge during this time were the Chicago American Giants. Started all the way back in 1910, the team went through several different names and several different leagues before officially becoming the Chicago American Giants in 1920. It was that year that the Negro National League was established, a league the Giants would go on to dominate for a decade. A ton of credit for the establishment of the Chicago American Giants and moreover the Negro National League goes to this guy, Rube Foster. Rube Foster was an impressive man. This 200-pound, 6'2" pitcher was a sharp mind both on and off the field. He worked tirelessly to organize and promote the play that was taking place in the Negro Leagues. He helped develop the play in the league to be a faster, more aggressive, and daring game than the white baseball that was being played around the country. Now, another fun fact about Rube Foster, he invented the screwball pitch, which became so popular at the time that white players used to pay Rube under the table to teach them the pitch in secret. Rube Foster and moreover the American Giants knew how to draw a crowd. On any given game day, thousands would show up at Shoreline Park on the south side to watch this dynamic team. The Giants would win 5 pennants throughout the 1920s, and even after the Negro National League folded in 1931, they would still stay together, playing in pop-up leagues and even as an independent team, traveling and playing throughout the nation. The beginning of the end for the Negro Leagues came in 1947. That year, a former Kansas City Monarch, the chief rival of the Chicago American Giants, was chosen to play for the Brooklyn Dodgers and ultimately breaking the color barrier. His name, of course, was Jackie Robinson. Though the Negro Leagues and moreover the Chicago American Giants are no longer around, their legacy still looms large, and the game today is better for it. Did you know?
I knew some of that.
Yeah.
I knew some of that. I didn't know the screwball thing.
Yeah,
I didn't know the screwball thing. That's pretty cool.
Rube was an impressive man. I have this great quote from him that I found. He was talking about the Chicago American Giants, and he said, "I take great pride when I refer to the American Giants. They've done wonders for the game. When there were no other clubs in existence, the Giants traveled thousands of miles to play. Each trip brought renown to Chicago." He then went on to say that the Giants did more to keep friendly feeling between Negroes and whites than any other institution of any kind, which I think is really important because sports is that thing that really brings people together. And I wanted to point out Shoreline Park, also known as Southside Park, and there were several iterations of Southside Park. This was probably the most famous, but this was located on 39th Street, which is essentially Pershing Road now. It's long gone. It's south of where U.S. Cellular Field is today.
Over in Bronzeville?
Yeah.
Like, was it on the other side of the highway?
Other side of the highway, yeah.
Cool.
So when Comiskey Park got built, both the White Sox and the Chicago American Giants played at Southside Park, but then when Comiskey got built, the White Sox moved there, and then eventually the American Giants moved there before, 1947 when the color barrier was broken. But a lot of great history on this. We can't even scratch the surface. I should have had, 2 full hours to do this. But if I'm ever in Kansas City again, I'm going to go to the baseball museum.
Yeah, it's cool.
I have to go check it out, and their website is coming up on the screen. It is nlbm.com, and that is in Kansas City. That is the
I went
Negro
to
League
it
baseball museum,
and I learned a lot because I already knew some of it from the older members of my family. But when you go to that, you will love it, Chris. You will absolutely
really
love it. It
Plus,
blows your mind.
Kansas City has great barbecue, so
yes, and then there's that.
Yeah, we'll just all tie it together. Good trip.